What it be, what it do? It's your boy, Magician, back at you again with another video. And today, I just want to talk. Again, I want to confide in you guys, like, what I learned and what I concluded in my journey to God of Destruction 3 in Season 2 of Tekken 8. The first point I want to talk about, and I'm gonna be upfront about it, is that I don't see how your rank doesn't matter. We've heard it before, like the Mount Rushmore of the Tekken greats. They all say that. GDCR said that, he has a video about it. I think Knee has said it once or twice. And to me, it doesn't really stick, because there's a reason why by the time I got GOD3, for example, the best EU players like Kawis, Joka, Ilias, or Sin, for example, they were all GOD4 by then. It's because they are objectively better than me at this game. And on the opposite side, inversely, to the people who are still stuck on GOD2 and GOD1, I'm only higher on the ladder than them because I beat them more times than they beat me. And the argument that you can get a higher rank than you deserve in Tekken 8 by playing in a way that favors a first to two format compared to a deathmatch or a long set otherwise doesn't really hold at GOD1 Plus, because there are so few players that if you get matched up against someone, you are almost guaranteed to get rematched against them again. So you play a first to two, and then a second one, and then a third one, until you reach first to 10 territory sometimes. So the argument that we are playing short sets and rank doesn't reflect your skill level doesn't really hold. I still don't understand why they say that your rank doesn't matter. And that might just be me, I'm the most likely explanation is that I'm still just so bad at this game that I can't see why they say that your rank doesn't matter, how it has no correlation to your skill. And this brings me to my next point, actually. The point that I'm so bad at this game is that, guys, I am still so bad. I am still so bad at Tekken. It's unreal. I watch my replays sometimes and I make the dumbest mistakes, full crash down for 2s out the wazoo and they get blocked against Paul or Ling or Brian and I get launched for it. The most obvious random quote-unquote hop kicks, which don't work. And it's not like I'm using them to show that I'm willing to pull the trigger on a hop kick to stop the other guy from pressing too much and overextending, which I could be using them that way. I could be using a random hop kick or a panic move to deter the opponents from overextending. They do that. But no, that's not my thought process there. I just go, now would be a good time to hop kick. And then I do it, and then more likely than not, it gets blocked. And I have to say that the fact that I'm still so bad and still making these kinds of mistakes, it's both scary and comforting. It's scary because bro, how is my gameplay still this bad at the top 0.05% percentile of the Tekken population? It should be better than this, I believe. But on the flip side, it's comforting because I know what to work on. Between me and you, I would much rather be like this, where I can see my flaws in my terrible, god-awful game plan, than being Season 3 with zero leads on where to improve. Imagine if I were if I got GOD3 like I did, and I went to watch my gameplay and I was man, I'm playing as perfectly as I possibly can right now. It would be bad, it would be terrible for me because I wouldn't know how to improve. I don't have any leads on improvements. But no, thankfully, I watch my god-awful replays and I go, wow, look at this dumbass, still falling for the same layer 1 offense for all of the first 2 rounds in a game. Look at this guy, he doesn't know to stop trying to go in when he has the lead, and he ends up getting clipped by a random electric and he ends up losing the round for it, At least in this aspect, I am happy that I can still watch my replays and go, okay, I can improve on this and that, you know? And all in all, I'm really bringing this up to say that, like, to tell you to be proud of your rank, I guess, among other things. Another talking point that I'd like to go over in this video is I'd like to let you know that I'm running a kind of mini study on rank and Tekken 8 brain death, for lack of a better word. We've heard it before, you can get carried by mashing in T8, and if you were like playing T7, your opponent, the person who's saying this, would have curb stomped you. So if by any chance back to basics means going back to the flow of older Tekkens, we will see if a higher rank player that only got good in Tekken 8, so that's me, we'd like to see if that kind of person is going to fall off in ranked in the later seasons if the game reverts to the franchise's previous like core qualities like better movements and maybe a weaker heat system, you know? So stay tuned for that. And to end the video, I will leave you with a tip. It might be a hard pill to swallow, but you need to hear this. Many times I see people get stuck at a certain rank for a long period of time. I made like months sometimes. And then when they finally get through and reach a new rank, they're happy about it and are filled with a sense of accomplishment. And that might be like reasonable, you might have gotten better at the game. But it also could be that rank inflation just did its job, because, you know, like a rank's worth will not be the same 1 or 2 months from now. Here's an example with numbers. If you are, for example, at Tekken Emperor right now, and you are part of the top 10% of players, and you take too much time to get to Tekken God, like 3 months for example, if you go to the website ewgf.com, I think it is, and Tekken God is the new top 10 percentile because of rank inflation, then you might not really have improved at the game. You might have gotten better compared to the you from yesterday, but if you take into account the percentage of people that you can actually beat, which stayed like at 90% in your definition of improvements, then you might not have improved much. You are still where you were 3 months ago compared to the rest of the player base. And your rank just changed because of inflation. And like to improve at a quicker rate to combat this, to improve at a quicker rate than the rate of inflation, you have to actively try to get better at the game. You have to tackle your weaknesses, you have to polish your gameplay, for example, and so on and so forth. And the reward for that is seeing yourself jump like from percentile to percentile until you reach the top 5, the top 2, or even the top 1% of the player base. At which point no one can take that away from you anymore, because it's no longer about like the PNG, the PNG next to your health bar. It's not about the rank itself, it's about how many people you can beat. And you can beat a lot more people when you're in the top 1%, for example. So, you know, make it a habit that when you get a new rank, go check what percentile that is. If it's the same as last time, then that is a sign to improve quicker if you want to get better at the game. But if you went up percentiles, then that is something to celebrate genuinely. Good job, you should be proud of that. No one can take that away from you anymore. It's not about rank inflation, it's about how many people you can beat. And that is yours and yours alone. Yeah, that's about it. Anyway, this was Magician talking about ranks and improvements and Tekken 8. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I hope you have a good one. Goodbye.